Still in Nollywood, action film enthusiast Dr. McBaror has returned with a new action thriller titled Creek. The movie, which is set within the Niger Delta region of the country, follows the story of an American researcher who got caught up in gang activities of rival oil bunkers. Some of the activities on the belly of the Niger Delta. Some aid I'm now being joined on the program by the director of the movie, Dr. McBaror. Many thanks for joining us on the program, Dr.
Thank you very much, sir. It's always nice being here.
Yes, before we start, let me say I like the ambience and the environment from where you're joining us from. I can see the art on the wall, the retro TV, and the chest behind you. Are you on the set of another movie already?
Well, this is my little place. I like to live in a film. I like to live in a movie. I like to live in a story. So everything you're seeing here is it's part of my history.
Very interesting. Now to the main conversation, the Creek. Tell us about it.
Well, it's been a long time coming. You know, growing up, I'm from the Niger Delta. I've always been part of that history. I've always known that, okay, there's that story of oil spillage, violence here and there, because the blessing in the ground that has eventually turned into a curse. So basically, it's been a story that when that movie came to my table, I knew I wanted to explore. I knew that, okay, this is a story that I honestly want to be part of. So it became a thing of where, not east. So I was ready to go from the very beginning. I've been telling stories about the north, London, Nigeria for a long time because I grew up in the north, not in my hometown. So basically, this is the first time I am going home to make a film about my people.
I must say it's a very difficult and sensitive story to tell because the issues are very, very much, because there's the sides of the community, there's the sides of the government, there's the sides of the investors as well, and it's something that has been going on for decades. So it's obviously a very difficult story to tell. How did you approach it?
The thing about the Niger Delta story, it can't be told in one film. It can't be told in 10 movies. The more you dig, the more layers you make. The more you dig, the more layers you make. There's just so much that has happened in the last 50 years. So there's the Ken Saro-Wiwa story that made so much news, but so much is going on the ground. So when we started doing our research, we discovered that, look, we just need to tell our own story from our perspective, from where we're standing, and tell it and live it. There's still so much that can be told, so much. You can't even scratch the surface with 10 films. And I'm saying this in all humility and honesty. The story of the Niger Delta is the more you look, the less you understand. So basically, as a filmmaker, when this came to us, I decided that, look, okay, let's research what we want to talk about. We want to talk about the young people and what has pushed them into becoming this violent, and what can be done to bring them out of this.
I understand you, and from the trailer, the story depicts a lot of violence, all caused by the oil that has now been termed the black gold in the soil. My question now is, how close is this violence depicted to the present-day situation in the Niger Delta? Is this still a true life story or just something that is a work of pure fiction?
All right, so the being close to reality is everything in the story. It's not anybody's story. It's not like we're trying to tell a particular person's story. So it's based on research, of course, and fiction. So we're trying to tell a good story, even though we're lacing it with the fact that there are underlying social issues that we have to deal with, we have to talk about, because it is not okay to just make a film without reaching out and touching some fundamental stuff that are actually going on with our Niger Delta. So basically, if you say close to reality, it means we're talking about somebody's story. No, we're not talking about somebody's story. Niger Delta is too strong to start talking about anybody now. So we are just trying to address some of the issues that are going on in the society, in the Niger Delta. As a matter of fact, I try to stay away from talking about people, about actual people, as much as possible, because I've been in trouble for that several times in the past. I'm older now.
Well, since it's all fiction, then let's dwell a bit more on the creativity behind the movie. I see you had Hollywood actor Jimmy John Louis, Nollywood's favorite villain, Buchi Franklin, and many others. So speak to us about that.
Well, the story, I will be doing myself injustice if I begin to tell you exactly what the story is, but it's a beautiful story that addressed how we treat foreigners, who is in the person of Jimmy John Lewis, how we treat ourselves, our own brothers, and how we love and how we hate too. So basically, it's that story that we were able to fuse some beautiful things and some very ugly things in one story. So a lot of people will remember me and say, okay, Toka likes to shoot violence. No. I like love too. I like love too. So basically, I don't want to begin to divulge because the premiere is coming. And if I say too much, our people are very smart. They'll begin to stitch your story together before you know it is out there. So basically, we are hoping that we got this one right. We told a good story that is beautiful, violent enough, and yet it captures that ill and fix that thing that we want to fix in our society.
Thank you very much for joining us again on the program, Toka, and we wish you all of the best.